new to politics activists, who people were out in the Women's March, doing March for Our Lives, not necessarily things that were campaign related, but suddenly they're inspired and they want to get involved. These apps and this technology helps funnel that initiative, that eagerness to participate, and connects them with a local campaign that can actually use their help. That's really what we saw with Joe Biden's campaign. The fact that Biden really was kind of in his basement. He wasn't out there campaigning, and yet through this use of technology and being able to kind of connect people, they managed to turn out 80 million votes and help Biden to defeat Trump. I think that's a critical piece of technological evolution that's going to be important going forward for both parties, but especially for Democrats.
So, Josh, let's spin this forward. We've got, Georgia Senate race here on the horizon. After that, we're going to have some midterms. Like, when are we going to see sort of the fruits of this marriage, and how are we going to be evaluating them?
I just got about a minute, Josh.
Well, yeah, I think we're already seeing people on the ground. There's lots of volunteers. I was talking to one of the Mobilize founders who said that the engagement, the volunteer engagement around the Georgia Senate races is even higher than it was in the midterm elections in 2018. On the other hand, Republicans have their biggest engagement driver, and that's Donald Trump, and it sounds like he's going to be heading down there in the next week. Both sides, this won't come as news to anybody, but both sides are just trying to turn out every single vote they can, because it looks like it's going to be a very close pair of elections. I think if Democrats are able to rekindle the outpouring that Joe Biden received, they're going to be in pretty good shape. We just don't know yet whether Democrats can win or excite people with Trump not on the top of the ticket. But we're going to find out on January 5th.
All right. Well, good stuff as always, Josh. Thank you so much. Who knew? Political M&A reporter, also Bloomberg Business Week national correspondent.
He can do it all.
He can do it all. Josh Green. Anything you want to ever know about politics and the campaign trail, man, you've just got to read Josh's stuff. Of course, author of the book that explains the 2016 election outcome. We're talking about Devil's Bargain, Steve Bannon, Donald Trump, and the Nationalist Uprising. Josh, of course, on the phone from D.C., and Bloomberg Business Week editor Joel Weber on the Access line in Brooklyn. For those of you listening in New York, D.C., and San Francisco, watching on YouTube, Bloomberg Business Week, we're going to come right back. If you're listening on Bloomberg 106.1 in Boston, Bay State Business is coming up next. We're going to talk politics. We're going to talk about that Biden economic team.
It's something.
It is something.
A lot of firsts.
Which I love. A lot of women, a lot of diversity.
And they just finished speaking about an hour ago.
So we're going to break it down in just a moment right here on Bloomberg.
From Bloomberg World Headquarters, I'm Charlie Pellet. Final hour of trading on this Tuesday, December 1st, first trading day of the new month. Stocks beginning December on a bullish note, a rebound from yesterday's retreat. The dollar extending its slide to a more than two-year low. Treasury yields are jumping. Look at the 10-year with a yield now of 0.93%. Risk on mood is powering the S&P and Nasdaq to records. Traders continue to bet vaccine news will lead to an economic surge next year. S&P 500 index up 48 points, up 1.3%, again at a record. The Dow is up 265 points, up 0.9%. Nasdaq advancing 168 points to a record 12,367. That is a gain now of 1.4%. Again, the 10-year worth repeating, the yield there 0.93%. Gold up 2.1%, higher by $36 the ounce at $18.13. West Texas Intermediate crude slumping 1.6%. 44.60 a barrel. The OECD has cut its 2021 global growth forecast to 4.2% from 5% as the resurgence of the coronavirus dramatically weakens the global recovery. The Paris-based organization also warns the situation could deteriorate if governments withdraw support too soon or fail to deliver effective vaccines. Dr. Laurence Boone is chief economist at OECD.
What I'm concerned about is in some instances there's a lack of connection between the size of the fiscal stimulus and the effect on the economy. And that's where fiscal public spending are not spent wisely, which is why we're insisting on the need to target the appropriate people, the viable firms. Some countries do that very well as all those that are left behind.
BlackBerry surging the most ever after the wireless company signed a multi-year agreement with Amazon Web Services to develop and market its intelligent vehicle data platform called Ivy. BlackBerry shares up now by 25%. They are off session highs. And Tesla is gaining after S&P Dow Jones Indices says it will be added to the S&P 500 index in one shot on December 21st. Tesla up 2.3%. I'm Charlie Pellet. That's a Bloomberg Business Flash.
This is Bloomberg Business Week with Kirill Masser on Bloomberg Radio.
For Secretary of Treasury, I am really